Hey Brianna, how's it going?
Hello, it's going okay.
Right on. Hey everybody. Um,
Hi.
as soon as everybody gets in, I'm going to go ahead and launch into our workshop for today, which is just going to go over, I'm basically going to cover the looping structure that you're going to need for your game for rock, paper, scissors. Has anybody gotten to the point where you've touched it? Have you actually looked at rock, paper, scissors yet?
I looked at like the instructions for it that's like in the agenda.
Okay.
I just quick read over it, but I still haven't finished my list things. I need to do that.
Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and get that finished. So, progress reports were finalized on Sunday at midnight. So I can't really change anything like that, but I did have several people say like, hey, can I still turn stuff in? Absolutely, you totally can. I just take points off the agency grade. So it still would be very much worth your while to get even old stuff in, and I would really like to have that. The thing is, the progress reports, that's just kind of a snapshot of how we're doing as we're going through that 6 weeks. So that one's not it gives you an idea of how you're doing, but I can change those. Like, those grades are still mutable. I can still add things in. If there's some issue with something, I can change it. But once we get to the 6 weeks, that's it. I can't take anything after that 6 weeks. So if you guys are catching up, you're trying to get a lot of your stuff in, please make sure that you're getting to that. You're getting to the point where you're getting those things in, because otherwise, once we get to the 6 weeks and that cutoff, I can't really change anything. Okay, so just want to throw that out there. Let's take a look at our agenda for today. If y'all haven't already looked at it, let me just pull it up here real quick and share the screen. I think we got everybody but Zanetta here, but I think she's out today. Ooh, excuse me. Let's see here. So that's one. There we go. So let me just go over everything we have. It's 12:04, so we should be able to start our stuff here. So just like the agenda says, I'm going to be going over the looping structure for this. So I thought that would be helpful for y'all. So if you're paying attention, you're watching the video, I am going to have the video later online so you guys can look at it. And this should help you with setting everything up. If you can get everything I've got today for you, then it should be really easy when you guys are looking at everything later. Okay? So unless there's any questions right now, I can take any questions you guys have about anything at this point right now. Is there any questions you guys have at this point? Just pop it in the chat, or you can just unmute yourself and start talking. Either way is fine. Okay.
I have some questions about the list, but I want to attempt it like by myself because I want to fully understand it. But like I just don't know how to start off with it.
Okay, so the lists, how to start it. Well, we need to get you working with the first two sets of values. Like the example I have takes you through running through a for loop and then another for loop. So you have it running through the values for the first list. So it takes the value for the first character in that first list, and then it goes down to the values for the second list, and it starts adding in. So let's say like the first character from the first list is a 1, okay? So it'll go down to our second set, which is 2, 3, 4. So it'll go 1, then it'll go down to the next list, so it'll have a 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. And then it'll go to the next set in whatever that next item in the first list is. So basically what we're doing is we're moving through all these different lists using the for loops, and it's populating those lists based on the values that we have in each for loop that we're working with. So I think what I'll need you to do is probably recreate the code that I used for the example and then add in a third for loop. So you'll have your main one up here at the top that was pulling everything. Then you're gonna have another for loop right underneath it that's indented slightly because we're gonna work with the second set of list values. And then you'll have a third for loop that's nested inside of there, and that's gonna work with the last set of list values. Okay, so we wanna run through all of them. And if you can copy down and get that version that I was using for the example working, I think adding in a third one probably won't be too big of a deal for you. Have you tried to do that, Brianna?
No, I just been playing around with it, trying to see what I can do.
Okay. Well, go ahead and start working on the example. Like copy the example and do what's get it working, and then after that, move on to trying to add in that third for loop. And at that point, if you're having issues, definitely contact me. Let me know what's going on. Send me screenshots, and we can go from there. Okay?
The example is the pictures that are in the document, right? Just double checking.
You got it. Yeah.
Oh.
That's directly out of PyCharm, which should be fairly similar to what you're seeing in Pythonista as well.
All right.
Cool. All right. Anybody else have any questions about anything in particular? Yeah. Even if it's not an assignment, if you got something about anything, I can take questions right now. Okay. Well, I'm going to move on. If you do get a question as we're moving through this, let me know. Stop me. Let me know if I'm going too fast or anything like that. But I'm going to share my PyCharm screen now, and we're going to go through this looping structure. Okay. So let me change this out to a new share here. There we go. Whoops, I think I might have hit the wrong thing. Give me a sec. No, I'm on the right one. Okay. There we are. All the Zoom stuff is in the way. All right. There we go. And we'll move the participants over. If you do have any questions as I'm going through this, it probably would be better, since my screen's a little cluttered right now, if you just unmute yourself and start talking, that should be fine, because I may not see the chat. If everybody's cool with that, then we're going to keep moving on. So what we need to do here is kind of think about what we want to do as far as a looping structure. So we want to pull people, or we want to see if the user wants to play the game. Then we're playing the game. Inside of that, we win or lose. Then we're checking again, do we want to continue play the game? And then we'll just take it from there. So this is our basic structure, right? This is what we talked about with the rock, paper, scissors setup. Now this is just pseudocode, okay? Pseudocode is what you write if you're just trying to get your ideas out and you don't necessarily want to be working with real code. You just want to kind of write out and plan, do an outline of what you want to do. So you can do that inside of your IDE if you want to. It's going to pick up a lot of these things. Just don't try and run it, or else, you know, right now you can see I've got 36 errors. It doesn't like anything I'm doing here, but it gives us a good idea where to start. So what I can do is use these as comments instead. So if I want to do that, I just use this. I'm going to put another one right here and another one here. And then I'm going to drop this down a little bit. So these all become comments now, so I can leave them in if I want to. All right, so first off, we want to think about how we want to manage this. So initially, we just want to get some input from the user. So let's say we want to do play game. This is going to be our variable for deciding, is the person actually wanting to play the game? So we're going to get an input from our user. And we're going to say something like, do you want to play the game? Yes or no. And then I'm going to leave a few spaces there just so we can have some space between where they answer and where they're actually like getting the input. Okay, so we got play game. And then we want to go down to our first if statement. So initially, we're not going to have a while statement. You can totally do that if you want to. I just think that right now it's probably easier just to get a conditional statement. So we're going to start off with if play game. equals y. Now, here's something I'm going to do this really, really fast. So I'm leaving out things that are looking for lowercase, uppercase, anything like that. I'm just going to make it really simple, and we're just focusing on conditions and looping structure. Okay. So also, I shouldn't capitalize if. There we go. If play game is equal to y, then, oops, let's see, playing. This is going to be a new value we're going to use, playing. So we have play game, that's where we want to play it or not. And playing is going to tell us if we want to keep playing, okay? That's a variable I made up. It has nothing to do with anything that's already established in Python. It's just something I'm using to keep track of stuff, okay? So playing, if playing equals true, then, or I'm sorry, if playing equals y, then playing is going to equal true, okay? If we're going to have the other side of the if here in just a second, but we're going to start our while loop here, okay? So while playing, and then we're going to go into our structure for the game itself. Like in here, this is where we get into the mechanics of the game, okay? And I'm not really going to go into that right now. That's something for you guys to work on. But this is where a lot of that's going to go. Another thing that we're going to need here, since we have if, we're checking here, are we wanting to keep playing? Another thing we want to do is we're getting this input. If somebody right away says, "Man, I don't really want to play. I didn't mean to hit that," then we want to go down to here, and we're going to use an else. We can probably use an else. Use an else, because if it's not anything up here, then we should be okay. I might change it to an elif later, but else print. Let's see, maybe next time. And then we'll also put in playing, let's see here, is equal to false, so it doesn't try and loop back around on this thing. Okay, so this is like, this statement right here is just for, if right at the beginning they say no, then it'll drop out of this if, go completely past the while, and it'll go to this and say, oh, okay, well, you didn't want to play, so we're going to go ahead and drop out the here. I could use an elif here. I might end up using an elif, but we'll just see how this goes. All right, so we have our while. And inside of our while, we need to make sure it's indented a good little bit. Okay, so here's most of our meat of what we're going to be doing. So user choice is something we're going to use right away. And we're going to get our value from the input that we're going to get from the user. So let's say you have two choices to play, pick Y or N, and we're going to give it a little bit of space there just so we can kind of keep it. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to do 1 or 2 just to make it different. Okay. All right, so we have user choice. Now, if user choice, this is where we're going to have some semblance of what we're going through for rock, paper, scissors, but it's not going to be the same. So we're going to have an int, if here, and we're going to check our int because we're looking at the value that they're giving us, so like 1 or 2. So we want to pull that in. Since it comes in, the input is a string, we want to change it over to an int, an integer, so we can read it and compare it. So if int user choice, there we go, is equal to 1, then what we want to do is print you win, yay, okay? And then else, or we could use an elif there, I guess. But yeah, let's just use we could do an if there too. You can do ifs if you want to. If int user choice, whoops, is equal to, let's just say anything bigger than that. Equal to 2. Then we're going to print. Sorry, the computer one. All right, and then we're going to go back to here, playing. We're going to get some input from the user again. Would you like to play again? Whoops, not play again. Yes or no. I'm going to leave a little space there so it looks a little nicer. And now we're going to go into another set of ifs. Playing equals y. Now keep in mind, I'm still not doing the lower or uppercase or anything like that. So the information I'm going to be putting in, I know exactly what it needs, and I'm not giving any kind of weird stuff. So I'm not going to add in like, oh, I'm going to give it a 3 and check for that. Not right now. We're just working on the looping structure and conditions. So if I've got Y there, we're going to say playing equals, true. And we're going to go down to this last thing, else. If it's anything else, then we're going to print, this is where it's going to drop out. So we're going to do maybe next time, just like we have below, because this is where we're going to drop out of our loop where we keep playing and playing and playing. Maybe next time. And we also need to set playing to false. So we know we're done. We're dropping out of this loop. Let me talk about it and hope everything works the way I typed it out. Other than that, I would guess we're probably going to have an issue, but let's just see. So the way this flows down, we have playing right here. We're already giving it a value. I didn't need to have that there. I might need to initialize that right up here. I'm going to say playing equals just blank, just equals nothing. So initially, it'll have kind of a value. It'll have something it can work with. So if I throw true or false in there later, it's not going to give us a problem. So we're going to get the input right here. We're going to check and see, do they want to play? If they do, we'll go through the while loop. We'll go through the while loop. We'll go through the while loop. As long as they want to keep playing, we'll keep going through the while loop. The moment they say no, then it'll say false, and it'll say maybe next time, okay? If we hit up here and we ask for the input and it says no, it's going to see this if, and it's going to say this isn't what we want. It's going to completely skip the while loop, and it's going to run this, okay? So we ended up having, we're kind of not sticking with our dry kind of setup right here because we're going to have different ways that these are being caught, okay? So yeah, I am kind of doing something double here, but I don't feel like it's anything we can get around right now with our current understanding of how Python works. So, moment of truth, let's see if it works. Play, okay, right down there. Do you want to play the game? Yes. You have 2 choices, pick 1 or 2. Okay, 1, you win. Would you like to play again? Yes, I'd like to play again. I'm gonna pick 2. Sorry, the computer one. Would you like to play again? Yes. All right, I'm gonna pick 1. All right, would you like to play again? No. Yay, it works. So that doesn't happen very often. So I'm happy that it did work. Let me run through it one more time just to show you guys what happens. And so you kind of understand why I was saying like, okay, we do this and then we go into the while loop. And then our else down here, we only hit that if the if statement is not going to render a true result, right? So right off the bat, we're gonna hit in, maybe next time, and it drops out, okay? And I'm also getting my internet connections unstable, so hopefully it's back now. That is basically the looping structure that you'd probably use, although you can have different ones. You could have a different setup. Does this make sense, or do you guys have any questions?
That makes sense. So this is just an example for like how we could set up our rock, paper, scissors.
You got it. You got it.
Okay.
I'm showing the mechanics inside of rock, paper, scissors, but that's just a bunch of condition statements. This is going to be like right in here, basically. This space is going to be where your rock, paper, scissors mechanics are going to go. Everything else after that is just controlling the input to say like, oh, do you want to keep going? Do you want to keep playing? Okay, cool. Well, let's keep doing that. So that can all still be inside of your while loop. But your mechanics for your game are going to be right here, okay? And I will have this as a recording that I'll add in a little bit later with everything. Let's see. So let me just throw out some more things for everybody as we're sitting here thinking about it. This is due when? When is rock, paper, scissors due?
Friday.
I'm pretty sure it is Friday, yeah. Let me just make sure, but just want to make sure everybody here knows it is Friday. Yep, due Friday at 5 p.m. So after we have our class in the morning, you'll have the rest of the day to work on it until 5 p.m. And then we'll still, we have Thursday to talk, we have Friday to talk, we can work through some stuff, and maybe even show it off if you want to on Friday. All right, Brianna, are we doing okay? How do you feel about the looping structure we were just looking at?
I feel good.
Okay.
I think I understand it. Like, pretty much, if I'm gonna do this, I pretty much just put, instead of 1 or 2, I put like rock or scissors, like that.
Sure. Okay, cool. Will, how about you, man? How you feeling?
I think I know how to do it. I think I know.
Thing you figured out? Okay, cool. Daisy, how are we feeling here? Does this look a little complicated, or you feel like you can follow it?
I feel like I can do it.
So whenever you actually do rock, paper, scissors, are you going to have to do a random thing where you do random rock, paper, or scissors? Because like this one, it just gives you like, if you put 1, then you win. If you put 2, then you.
Right, exactly. Yeah. All I really wanted to do with this was kind of look at the looping structure and condition statements that you might want to use. Because right here I'm using while, and then I have a series of if and else inside of it that are managing, did you win, did you not win? Yeah, that's fine. This is really where you're going to expand a lot of what I'm looking for. The rest of this is pretty much the skeleton of your program. But as far as making the rock, paper, scissors stuff work, yeah, you need the random in here. You need the different prompts to the user. You need to compare the different values that we're getting, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm still leaving that to you, but I just wanted to give you guys the looping structure here. All right, Luciana, how are we feeling? How does this look to you?
I feel like I'm okay. Like how you explained it, I understood it.
Okay. So at the end of the week, I'm going to be looking to see everything that's come in. I also would really like for you guys to have any other work that you didn't get in. Please send that in so I can put in grades for you. If it came up as a 0 for for this previous 3 weeks, I can still add it in. I can still give you something for it. And just like one of my favorite Mexican food places in San Angelo, Mejor que nada, it's always better than nothing, all right? So if you guys can jump on that, that'd be great. So at this point, just like every other time, I can take questions. I can hang out a little bit if you have something you want to run past me, whatever you want. Otherwise, I'm going to set this recording up where you guys can use it, and we'll give you a little bit of time back. Okay. Otherwise, just give me a thumbs up so you got it, and you can split.
Wait, so this is gonna be the final project, right?
Run that past me one more time. I think a couple people were trying to talk.
Oh, this is gonna be the final project, like the
Yeah.
last thing we're gonna do.
This is our last
Okay.
thing for this part of the project. The next one, we're going to move into a different project, and we're going to gain some more skills to be able to do that.
All right.
Cool. All right. I think Brianna had a question.
Yeah, I was wondering about grading.
Mhm.
So on my grade it says 100 and something, and Luciana told me that like the 100's not your grade, like the 2 numbers after the 1 is your grade, and I was wondering if that was just true or if.
You guys had a lot of extra credit, so you have a pretty good buffer right now. I will say if you're not at 100 or higher, you probably have a good bit of missing work. Even with missing work, you're probably sitting at an 80 right now. But if the missing work keeps piling up, you have a very real chance of not passing the 6 weeks. So you started off with a huge buffer of just like, I figured everybody's going to be trying to get into the swing of things. I want to give you something that you can work with so you can be comfortable sliding into this and know that I'm going to take care of you. If you start eroding that buffer, though, there's not much I can do for you. If I don't get work, can't give grades. So that's the main thing. If you see over 100, that's what you got, because I gave you guys a bunch of extra credit at the beginning. There's not going to be as much going forward, but you have a good bit right now. So like I say, if you're not at 100 or more, you probably have some missing work, or the work you've turned in wasn't finished. So I would just check those grades individually and see what you're missing. And you can always follow up with me if you want to. Does that help you out, Brianna?
Yeah, thanks so much.
Okay, cool. All right. Anybody else? Anything else? Anything else at all? Will's good. Okay, cool.
Mr. Hammontree.
Who's in?
When so I turned in one of the works that I have a 0 in, but I don't know if you received it because I still have a 0 on it.
Again, I'll make sure that I have it, and I'll get stuff. I'll respond to you when I get it. I'll just tell you like,
Okay.
I got this, and I'll check and see if it's something that's missing, or for some reason maybe the grade's not showing. I'll find out, and I'll take.
Okay.
Yeah, just follow up with me. We'll take care of it.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. All right, y'all. Any other questions, or give me a thumbs up? Either way is cool. Okay, Daisy says she's good. All right, thanks, Daisy. Brianna, Camilla, thank you very much. Appreciate it, y'all. You're free to go if you'd like. Luciana,
Thank you.
bye, y'all. I'll see you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Share.